In this video we are going to talk about top 5 hackers of all time in the world. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future. Computer hacking is the act of identifying and exploiting system and network vulnerabilities in order to obtain unauthorized access to those systems. Not all hacking is malicious. White hat hackers may work in cybersecurity or as software engineers and testers seeking out vulnerabilities in order to fix them. Black hat hackers operate with malicious intent. That said, there is a large gray area populated by political activists and hackers who wear both hats. Hacking costs companies and consumers trillions of dollars every year. According to CPO magazine, by 2021, hacking attacks will cost a total $6 trillion, up from $2 trillion in losses reported in 2019. Much of the cybercrime problem stems from the same features of the internet from which we all benefit. Even the most amateur hacker can easily find all the tools they need online at virtually no cost. The hacker onslaught didn't occur overnight. It took decades of work by now famous hackers to discover critical vulnerabilities and reveal the strategies that establish the foundations of the internet and its free-for-all libertarianism. The world of hacking began in the early 1970s, after the popularization of early computers. With government agencies utilizing these new technologies, the Air Force commissioned the first ever pen test of their systems in 1971. These teams of highly technical specialists became known as Tiger Teams and were one of the earliest types of hackers. Shortly after, more agencies started to test their network security in response to some of the earliest forms of computer hacking. By the 1980s, the world of hacking advanced far enough for Congress to take action with the passage of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which to this day remains a topic of debate. When we hear the word hacker, we think of those notorious guys who get into computer systems illegally and commit crimes. However, not all hackers are malicious. The good ones who use hacking to improve computer security are white hat hackers. The ones called gray hat hackers sometimes violate ethical standards and have fun. Then there are the bad ones who are called black hat hackers. They exploit any targeted computer security illegally. History has shown that black hat hackers can cause a lot of harm. Here is the list of top 5 hacker of all time in the world. Let's start. Number 5. Kevin Mitnick. A seminal figure in American hacking, Kevin Mitnick got his career start as a teen. In 1981, he was charged with stealing computer manuals from Pacific Bell. In 1982, he hacked the North American Defense Command, NORAD, an achievement that inspired the 1983 film War Games. In 1989, he hacked Digital Equipment Corporation's DEC network and made copies of their software. Because DEC was a leading computer manufacturer at the time, this act put Mitnick on the map. He was later arrested, convicted and sent to prison. During his conditional release, he hacked Pacific Bell's voicemail systems. Throughout his hacking career, Mitnick never exploited the access and data he obtained. It's widely believed that he once obtained full control of Pacific Bell's network simply to prove it could be done. A warrant was issued for his arrest for the Pacific Bell incident, but Mitnick fled and lived in hiding for more than 2 years. When caught, he served time in prison for multiple counts of wire fraud and computer fraud. Although Mitnick ultimately went white hat, he may be part of the both hats gray area. He launched Mitnick's Absolute Zero-Day Exploit Exchange, which sells unpatched, critical software exploits to the highest bidder. Number 4. Jonathan James. Using the alias Comrade, Jonathan James hacked several companies. According to the New York Times, what really earned James' attention was his hack into the computers of the United States Department of Defense. Even more impressive was the fact that James was only 15 at the time. In an interview with PC Mag, James admitted that he was partly inspired by the book The Cuckoo's Egg, which details the hunt for a computer hacker in the 1980s. His hacking allowed him to access over 3,000 messages from government employees, usernames, passwords and other sensitive data. James was arrested in 2000 and was sentenced to a 6 months house arrest and banned from recreational computer use. However, a probation violation caused him to serve 6 months in jail. Jonathan James became the youngest person to be convicted of violating cybercrime laws. In 2007, TJX, a department store, was hacked and many customers' private information were compromised. Despite a lack of evidence, authorities suspect that James may have been involved. In 2008, James committed suicide by gunshot. According to the Daily Mail, his suicide note stated, I have no faith in the justice system. Perhaps my actions today, and this letter, will send a stronger message to the public. Either way, I have lost control over this situation, and this is my only way to regain control. Number 3. Michael Kals. In February 2000, 15-year-old Michael Kals, also known as Mafia Boy, discovered how to take over networks of university computers. He used their combined resources to disrupt the #1 search engine at the time, Yahoo. Within 1 week, he'd also brought down Dell, eBay, CNN and Amazon using a distributed denial of service (DDoS) attack that overwhelmed corporate servers and caused their websites to crash. Kals's wake-up call was perhaps the most jarring for cybercrime investors and internet proponents. If the biggest websites in the world, valued at over $1 billion, could be so easily sidelined, was any online data truly safe? It's not an exaggeration to say that the development of cybercrime legislation suddenly became a top government priority thanks to Kals's hack. Number 2. Kevin Poulsen. In 1983, a 17-year-old Poulsen, using the alias Dark Dante, hacked into ARPANET, the Pentagon's computer network. Although he was quickly caught, the government decided not to prosecute Poulsen, who was a minor at the time. Instead, he was let off with a warning. Poulsen didn't heed this warning and continued hacking. In 1988, Poulsen hacked a federal computer and dug into files pertaining to the deposed president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos. When discovered by authorities, Poulsen went underground. While he was on the run, Poulsen kept busy, hacking government files and revealing secrets. According to his own website, in 1990, he hacked a radio station contest and ensured that he was the 102nd caller, winning a brand new Porsche, a vacation, and $20,000. Poulsen was soon arrested and barred from using a computer for 3 years. He has since converted to white hat hacking and journalism, writing about cybersecurity and web-related socio-political causes for Wired, The Daily Beast and his own blog Threat Level. Poulsen also teamed with other leading hackers to work on various projects dedicated to social justice and freedom of information. Perhaps most notably, working with Adam Swartz and Jim Dolan to develop the open-source software SecureDrop, initially known as Dead Drop. Eventually, Poulsen turned over the platform, which enabled secure communication between journalists and sources, to the Freedom of Press Foundation. Number 1. Albert Gonzalez. According to the New York Daily News, Gonzalez, dubbed Soup Nazi, got his start as the troubled pack leader of computer nerds at his Miami high school. He eventually became active on criminal commerce site ShadowCrew.com and was considered one of its best hackers and moderators. At 22, Gonzalez was arrested in New York for debit card fraud related to stealing data from millions of card accounts. To avoid jail time, he became an informant for the Secret Service, ultimately helping indict dozens of ShadowCrew members. During his time as a paid informant, Gonzalez continued his criminal activities. Along with a group of accomplices, Gonzalez stole more than 180 million payment card accounts from companies including Office Max, Dave & Buster's and Boston Market. The New York Times Magazine notes that Gonzalez's 2005 attack on U.S. retailer TJX was the first serial data breach of credit information. Using a basic SQL injection, this famous hacker and his team created backdoors in several corporate networks, stealing an estimated $256 million from TJX alone. During his sentencing in 2015, the federal prosecutor called Gonzalez's human victimization unparalleled. So this is our today's video. If you like our video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel or hit the bell icon. We will meet again with another interesting topic. Till then, stay safe and stay happy.